Well, it's a heartbreaking scene that we see play out across our country. Mass shootings unfolding at places where we're supposed to feel safe and free. In schools, at concerts, movie theaters, even places of worship. What we often don't see, the families of the victims forced to make it through another day. Like the parents of this 6-year-old girl right here, who was one of 26 killed in the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newtown, Connecticut. CBS 12's Kara Duffy joins us live from the FAU campus in Jupiter with how her father is turning his loss into a life mission. Kara?
Terry, when Avielle Richman was murdered in her first grade classroom, her father told us he felt as if the whole world was spinning out of control and that he knew he needed to find something to give his life new meaning. And in just a few hours, he will share his newfound purpose here at the FAU campus in Jupiter.
Avielle had a beautiful 2,250 days in this world, and she had a great story.
A great story that came to an abrupt and devastating end.
Avielle was one of the 20 kids and 6 educators murdered in the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre.
Through the unbearable grief, Dr. Jeremy Richman says he and his wife, who are both scientists, knew they needed to turn their pain into something positive. So they created the Avielle Foundation.
We decided to play to our strengths as scientists and explore what we could do to identify why people behave in malevolent and violent ways and look to ways that we could prevent it.
Today, Dr. Richman will share those findings to provide insight that can help people spot the signs and symptoms of someone troubled or in crisis, as well as educate them on how to prevent violent behavior.
We hear about these tragedies, but the fact is that violence occurs in our homes and on our street corners every day. Every 26 seconds a violent crime is occurring.
Dr. Richman says he hopes his lecture will also promote compassion and encourage community engagement.
And there's a great quote by A.J. Heschel: "Few are guilty, but all are responsible." We need to engage. We need to recognize that, yes, we are responsible for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for our communities at large.
And CBS 12's Kara Duffy once again joins us live from the FAU campus in Jupiter. And Kara, what stood out to you when you spoke to Dr. Richman?
Well, Terry, I can tell you, aside from his unbelievable strength, one thing that he said during our conversation was that a lot of times when he shares his daughter's story about her death, a lot of people, naturally say, "Oh, I can't imagine." And it's something that I even caught myself saying to him as we were talking. And what he said as far as his perspective on that really just blew me away. Take a listen here.
When we tell people that story, they oftentimes say, "I can't imagine what that's like. I can't imagine what you're going through." But the irony is, right when they're saying it, they were just starting to imagine it, and we can all imagine it. And the fact is that if we don't let something touch our hearts, if we don't let ourselves imagine, good or bad, then nothing ever changes.
Yeah, and I thought his perspective on that was, a way that I never even have thought to think of something. And he was saying that although it may be painful or make you feel uncomfortable, he wants people to dig down and find that sense of empathy. And he hopes that that could drive change when it comes to the way we think about violent behavior and hopefully prevent another tragedy like this from happening again. Terry.
All right, thank you so much, Kara. Good to hear from him and how he's making those changes. Well, the event will be held at 4 o'clock this afternoon at the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute complex at Florida Atlantic University's John D. MacArthur campus. That's in Jupiter. The event is